Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, ImperialDane, with another Propagandacast for you. Today a 1 vs 1 on Beaux Lowlands. Yes, a trip through the lowlands with me, ImperialDane. So, let's get to the contestants of this match. In the northern half we have Flyboy, Captain Flyboy of the 19th Infantry Division, Able Company, taking on the ever handsome ImperialDane. Yes, indeed, it's another match with me as the Panzer Lehr Ausklarungstruppen, ready to break through the Americans and at least push them back a bit. And of course the particulars of this map: winding road throughout the center, dotted along numerous strategic points. In fact, all the resource points are in the corners, more or less. A few right next to the bases, but otherwise separated by strategic points and out in the corners, alongside with a few victory points. And of course we have the large river dividing everything up, with the only thing rather crossing it without incurring negative cover bonuses is this bridge. So let's get this started, shall we? Just for the fun of it, Kettenkrad moving out, always going myself for the Kettenkrad, as I don't feel the Schwimmwagen lives up to my needs. In particular the Luftwaffe variant I feel is certainly more useful with cloaking rather than being able to mark targets. But that's just me. Panzer Grenadier teams will be sent out on the field to take out the Americans. We see the first engineer team dashing outwards, not setting up a barracks, apparently the job of the second team. Yes, indeed, setting up a barracks right at the edge of the American base right here. Probably going to center right through here, the western half of the map. We'll have to see how that goes. Panzer Grenadiers marching outwards, Gewehr 43 being equipped, and we hear the second team has reported for duty as well. Engineers not encountering any difficulties at the moment, although this slight delay in the barracks, alongside the fact that he's gone for a third engineer team, is certainly going to mean he won't be seeing any riflemen out right away, which will certainly give my Panzer Grenadiers valuable time to do whatever they want and seize some territory even, perhaps. But moving here, not seeing anything, I decide to begin seizing this point and wait for something to appear and instead pounce on that. Engineers moving in force towards the eastern half, securing the ridge points, I think right near to the road, or perhaps just moving for this fuel point straight away. One can never know. Spotting the engineers, and apparently also being spotted by the engineers, who now decide they have better things to do than run straight into Panzer Grenadiers. Yes, indeed, Panzer Grenadiers, some of the toughest troops, certainly from the beginning. What with plenty of hilt soldier armor and capabilities with the rifles almost equal to that of Grenadiers. And we see riflemen moving in as well. A bit dangerous, of course, right away, since right now they'll be outnumbering my Panzer Grenadiers, but they, with the Gewehr 43s, have finished moving in and taking up some positions, certainly leaving the Grenadiers in a slightly unfortunate situation. Kettenkrad being caught up by engineers, me not really discovering that for some time, although I do believe at some point I'll actually be aware that, oh hey, my Kettenkrad is under fire, I'd best get it out of there. Setting up a Kampfgruppe company so I can get the ever wonderful infantry half-track, which I always find to be a stable position in my tactics and strategies for all the abilities it can confer onto my troops. Panzer Grenadiers being caught out in the open, although not looking good for the Americans either. Engineer team going to be cut down in cold blood. Riflemen certainly also a bit damaged, although a second rifleman team is moving in. Half-track being produced and a third Panzer Grenadier team on the way, although these two will have to retreat under heavy fire and try and set up some more defensible positions, at least to temporarily hold back until further troops can arrive. Not looking good though, riflemen certainly in the strongest position at the moment. Down to one man on one team, getting out of there, being focused upon by all the riflemen. Will he make it? Yes, indeed, it seems like a small miracle. The Panzer Grenadier made it out of there barely, and shortly after, two riflemen go down and two more. These are really in a bad spot, and they do make it out of there, leaving only one team in quite heavy cover behind this fallen tree. but being focused down by further Panzer Grenadiers, and now we'll have the half-track on the field quickly moving out, I suspect, very soon to support the Panzer Grenadiers and heal them. Although looks like another team will have to fall back. In the meanwhile, I have the Kettenkrad seizing all the territory in the west that I did not take in the first place. And there we go, half-track rushing forwards. Riflemen suffering heavily, 2 down. Engineers moving in to transport. Might this rifleman team be completely wiped out or not? Does not look like it. Looks like, in fact, it will get away just barely. Riflemen moving towards the west. Seeing this, I quickly try to move in, but decide otherwise. I do believe shortly and instead go for this route, since it will be a bit better, I think, for some reason, although not entirely sure. And there we go, changing the axis of my attack. Kettenkrad pulling back in the face of riflemen, who immediately begin seizing the fuel point. Of course, unawares that I'll be probably trying to stop them, and now finding themselves under fire while taking the point. Will they stop, or will... Yes, indeed, looks like they stop, at least for a while, to set up a slightly better position and begin seizing the territory once more. And we see further riflemen moving in as well, although these are certainly looking to slowly lose their health. Panzer Grenadiers moving to support. One rifleman down. Spotting this attack by only 5 men, apparently not being fully reinforced. Further Panzer Grenadiers moving in now with Gewehr 43s and being slowed, forcing them to retreat, since being slowed right in front of a half-track is certainly not a good thing. Engineers moving in from the central road, although spotting these Panzer Grenadiers and moving backwards, while I'm being more focused on this spot here, trying to force the riflemen away from my fuel point, mostly since I am going to need a lot of fuel. And we're also seeing a Panzer Support Command going up to support my Panzer Grenadiers in the face of the rifleman, since at this moment I'm suspecting he'll be going for some sort of armored car, in which case I'll need something to actually deal with it. Riflemen almost completely wiped out. Second team moving in again unsupported, seems to be throwing in his troops piecemeal, although has managed to put up a medic station to decrease rate of attrition. Not a bad idea, although rather ruins the point when he then proceeds to throw his men one at a time at me. Once more riflemen falls back, and engineers, seeing this, decide to hold back, while the Panzer Grenadiers decide to stop the medics. Apparently deciding the Geneva Convention is for sissies. And we see a larger assault being prepared, and BARs going up as well. Small assault force flamethrowers and BARs, and looks like another flamethrower team might join in, or they might not. There we go. Panzer Grenadiers having moved up, since I was preparing to expect an attack elsewhere, but it seems he's rather keen on this small spot. So once more opening fire, half-track blazing away with its light machine gun, and Panzer Grenadiers with the Gewehr 43s, and here on the high ground firing away, causing heavy casualties on the riflemen, and flamethrowers forcing them to slowly retreat, while one takes up position in a shed. Not the best position, in fact suffering heavily, since wooden sheds are not known for their great protective capabilities against bullets. So another assault forced back, and a second wave coming in with further BARs. I'm of course still holding on to this position, sending in further Panzer Grenadiers, although at the same time suspecting I probably should moving over elsewhere, also already having sent a Kettenkrad, but currently my troops are forced to be stationed here as further incursions are moving in. The riflemen once more throwing themselves haphazardly as the Ausklangstruppen of the Panzer Lehr division. Once more holding the line, once more throwing back the riflemen. And once more the Panzer Grenadiers begin repairing the half-track, since I have no intention of losing it. It's already done quite a good job at partly being a focus of the enemy's attention, partly suppressing, reinforcing, and of course killing things. Also Panzer Grenadiers moving in for the central point. I'm already starting to spread out a bit, since I expect he can't keep attacking that small point. I have to be prepared for an attack elsewhere. Once more medics becoming a target for my Panzer Grenadiers. And we see another attack going out. Numerous engineers with flamethrowers alongside further riflemen. And we see the medic station not really managing to get back a lot of troops. And there I go, pulling back, expecting, okay, he must at least try to be attacking here or possibly there. And apparently not, instead going for the obvious feint. I'm not entirely sure what to call it. In fact, going for a further attack right where all the others have failed, apparently deciding in the vein of good old World War I generals, if it doesn't succeed in the first place, to throw more men at it. And there he goes. I realize that, oh dear, he's actually attacking there again. Anti-tank half-track firing away. Engineers setting up positions to deter any counter-attacks. It seems certainly not a bad idea. In fact, aggressive units of mines like that is certainly something I'd recommend. And so far, it's certainly one of the few things that seems to be good about it. Rifleman team being slaughtered, not pulling back as they became shot on from the light anti-tank half-track with its sort of sniper ability. Engineers rushing outwards for a counter-attack. Panzer Grenadiers running straight into a mine, and engineers quickly finding themselves suppressed by the machine gun on the half-track, and of course the other half-tracks, and of course Panzer Grenadiers joining into the fire, leaving only the rifleman team behind to hold the line from the high ground, but finding themselves focused on by all the Panzer Grenadiers and their attendant vehicles. And it looks like one rifleman team has secured the central area and the bridge, leaving that in position while he has done absolutely nothing to secure this victory point. A bit interesting, although what is more interesting is his continued wave after wave of attacks here in the center, setting up a motor pool, and perhaps I'm going for something there, or no, indeed going for a logistic company, figuring I want some scout cars to secure territory and generally also being able to seize territory. And another engineer goes down, and we see a howitzer barrage being called in on nothing in particular. It seems, not entirely sure why, but that certainly means he has gone for the infantry company. And let's go look at what he's up to. Howitzer shoot, as it is called, although I prefer to just think of it as a howitzer barrage. And we see another assault right through this lane with only one rifleman team to support it and numerous engineers with flamethrowers. Certainly a bit curious, I'd say, and of course I'm still unsure as to whether he'll actually try and attack here again or not, and he of course lives up to the idea and goes through once more, coming under fire again from the half-track and the Panzer Grenadiers, already suffering some losses in the initial stages of the conflict as further and further men are lost to machine gun fire. Some engineers already pulling back, leaving only the riflemen, and looks like, oh dearie me, the first Panzer Grenadier team is down. And of course I hadn't expected this, so the rest of my Panzer Grenadiers